When a woman has already crossed the line, she starts saying one thing. Not "I'm sorry." Not "it was a mistake." It's something softer, more polished, almost invisible. And once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Because it's not just words. It's her mind quietly rewriting the story while pretending to confess. It's guilt dressed up as innocence. If you've ever felt that quiet unease, that whisper in your gut that something doesn't match what she's saying, this will explain why. You're about to understand the psychology behind the one sentence women use when they've already done what they can't admit. The sentence that gives everything away. Stay with me till the end, because once you recognize it, you'll never hear her words the same way again. Most men think betrayal is loud. They imagine shouting, distance, deleted messages. But real betrayal is quiet. It hides inside phrases that sound innocent, even loving. When a woman has already cheated, she doesn't confess with guilt. She speaks in contradictions. She says things that calm your mind but tense your body. She's present, but not available. Her words sound like reassurance, but there's a strange finality in her tone. You'll notice phrases that sound like closure, but are actually escape routes. And soon you'll understand why. Because when a woman betrays, she builds a story to justify it. She tells herself she deserves it, or that something broke long before she acted. But before we uncover that sentence, I want you to see how it looks in real life. There's a couple married 12 years. They share a house, a child, and a life built on routine. Every morning he pours her coffee, 2 spoons of sugar, 1 of silence. She smiles, but it's the kind of smile that hides exhaustion. They talk about bills, schedules, their child's project, everything but themselves. Lately she's been saying, "I just need to feel like myself again." He thinks she's just tired. Maybe she needs a break. He plans a weekend away. What he doesn't know is that feeling like herself no longer includes him. She's already found that feeling somewhere else, in a late-night message that began with, "I miss talking to you." The irony? She's not trying to leave him. She's trying to escape the version of herself she became with him. Every lie she tells, every half-truth, every forced smile tightens the invisible rope between them. Routine keeps them together. Reality pulls them apart. Then there's the long-distance couple, 2 years apart, promising forever. Every night they talk for hours, their screens lighting up their loneliness. But lately, her tone has changed. She used to ask about his day. Now she asks if he still trusts her. It's subtle, but heavy. She gets defensive when he doesn't reply fast enough, even though she's the one drifting away. When he says, "I can't wait to see you," she sighs. "Don't pressure me, okay?" She's already gone emotionally but won't admit it, because admitting it would mean facing that what she found elsewhere isn't love, just a reflection of her unmet needs. The distance didn't break them. The fantasy did. And then there's the young couple, the kind that makes love look effortless. They post pictures, finish each other's sentences, laugh at everything. But one night, she slips, says a name that isn't his. She laughs it off too quickly. He pretends not to notice, but that name lingers like a stain he can't wash away. A week later she starts saying things like, "You're overthinking," or, "You're just insecure." He starts doubting himself instead of her. That's how manipulation begins. Not with cruelty, but with confusion. Her words twist until he's the one apologizing for sensing the truth. 3 couples. 3 stories. But right before the truth surfaces, something eerily similar happens. She starts saying one thing. A phrase that sounds harmless but carries a guilty heart. The same words every man hears before everything changes. When you know how to listen, you'll recognize it instantly. Because her voice, no matter how calm, trembles under the weight of a secret her heart can't hold. There's the married couple, perfect on the outside. Sunday brunches, smiling photos, anniversaries on Instagram. But behind their door, silence sits with them at the table. He notices her phone is always tilted away, her laughter saved for someone else. When he asks what's wrong, she says softly, "Nothing's wrong. You're just imagining things." But he feels it. The warmth that used to be hers has gone cold. She's not cruel. She's distant. She's not arguing. She's rewriting history in real time. At night, when she turns her back to him, he stares at the ceiling, sensing the truth he can't name. What he doesn't know is that she's already rehearsing her story, the version she'll use when the truth finally cracks open. Then there's the couple surviving across time zones. Their love was built on longing and late-night confessions. But lately, her words sound more like excuses. "You know how busy I've been. Work is insane." He believes her. Because what else can he do? He doesn't see the late replies as avoidance, only exhaustion. He doesn't notice the shift from "I miss you" to "we'll be okay." But she does. Every time she says "we'll be okay," she knows they won't. Guilt makes her overcompensate, sending pictures, checking in, pretending to care just enough. But she's not reconnecting. She's covering tracks. And the young couple, the ones who swore they'd never lose the spark, the first time she crosses the line, even just a flirty message or an innocent meetup, something inside her shifts. His affection starts to feel heavy. His trust feels undeserved. So she starts saying, "I just need space." Or, "I don't know who I am anymore." It sounds like self-discovery, but it's self-defense. Because to admit the truth would destroy the image she's built. The loyal one, the good one, the girl who'd never do that. She's not lying to him. She's lying to herself first. 3 stories. 3 moments of quiet betrayal. And yet, if you listen closely, they all echo the same line. The one phrase every man hears before everything falls apart. It's not loud. It's not cruel. It's calm, rehearsed, almost convincing. But beneath it lies the sound of a conscience trying to survive its own choices. The first sign she's already crossed the line. She says, "You're just overthinking." It sounds harmless, even caring, but it's a shield. When she says it, she's not protecting you from doubt. She's protecting herself from discovery. That phrase becomes her cover. It's how she keeps her story alive long enough to believe it herself. She's not always gaslighting you on purpose. Not at first. It's psychological survival. Her mind can't handle the clash between what she's done and who she still wants to believe she is. So when your intuition whispers that something feels off, she has to silence it, yours and hers. That's what guilt does when it can't confess. It rationalizes. It rewrites. It builds logic around emotional chaos. "Stop overthinking" really means "please don't see what I see." If she can control your perception, she can keep her reality from collapsing. The human brain hates dissonance, that unbearable space between "I love him" and "I betrayed him." So it builds bridges made of excuses. It wasn't serious. It didn't mean anything. We were already disconnected. Each excuse becomes a thread weaving a softer version of her truth. And here's the haunting part. Sometimes she doesn't even realize she's doing it. The words slip out like reflexes. Her tone softens. Her eyes hold yours just long enough to make you question yourself. Because the moment you believe your own intuition, her illusion collapses. So she distracts you. With emotion, with tenderness, with stories that make you doubt your own mind. It's not just manipulation. It's self-preservation. When she says, "You're overthinking," what she really means is, "Don't make me face myself." Her voice might sound calm, but her body betrays her. She can't hold your gaze too long. She smiles too quickly. She changes the subject. Each tiny gesture is her subconscious trying to escape accountability. And if you've ever felt that ache, knowing something's wrong but being told it's all in your head, hear this. Your instincts weren't broken. They were overridden. Because when love's on the line, the human brain doesn't chase truth, it chases safety. Hers in denial. Yours in hope. Both trying to survive a reality that already changed. Then comes the second sign. It sounds soft, even caring. She says, "I just need some space." You tell yourself she's stressed, tired, overwhelmed, that she just needs time. But when she's already cheated, space doesn't mean distance. It means disguise. It's the emotional shelter she hides under when guilt starts to suffocate her. Every time you look at her with love, every time you say, "I love you," she feels the weight of her secret pressing on her chest. She can't stand in your affection without feeling contaminated by it. So she pulls away, not to heal, but to breathe without feeling seen. When someone betrays, they split into two selves. The one who did it, and the one who swears they never could. That split is painful. It creates tension so unbearable. The mind looks for escape. That's where space comes in. You'll notice it. She stops replying as quickly. She says she needs clarity. Suddenly, she's spending time with new friends you've never heard of. But here's what's really happening beneath it all. She's not trying to find herself. She's trying to lose the version of herself that feels guilty. And you start questioning everything. Did I do something wrong? Should I give her what she's asking for? That's how emotional reversal begins. The betrayer becomes the one who needs compassion. The betrayed becomes the one who must stay patient. It's not always calculated. It's guilt twisting itself into survival. Because deep down, she knows if she stays too close, you'll see it in her eyes. That flicker, that fracture, that silent war between love and lies. Sometimes she'll frame it as growth. She'll say, "I just need to work on myself right now." But what she really means is, "I can't face who I am when I'm with you." The relationship becomes a mirror she can't look into. So she turns away, pretending it's about peace, but it's about hiding. Every unanswered message, every quiet hour, it's not reflection. It's reconstruction. Her mind rebuilding a world where she's not the villain. After betrayal, space isn't distance, it's a razor. Her attempt to scrub away the emotional fingerprints of what she's done. To rewrite herself before you notice she's changed. By the time she says she needs space, the betrayal isn't coming, it's already happened. She's not stepping away to find clarity. She's stepping back to make sure the truth doesn't follow her home. There was a man I once spoke to who thought he'd seen every side of love. The beauty, the chaos, the heartbreak. He and his wife had been together 9 years. To everyone else, they looked solid. Dinner parties, smiles, advice to friends. But beneath the surface, there was a distance he couldn't explain. She started working late, then later. Then she stopped offering explanations altogether. He noticed but didn't ask. Because deep down he didn't want to lose the illusion. Then one night, by accident, he picked up her phone. A message lit up the screen. A name he didn't recognize. Just one line. "You're worth every risk." He froze. His heart knew before his mind did. But he didn't confront her. Not yet. He watched, waited, and what he saw wasn't guilt. It was freedom. That's the part no one prepares you for. When the truth doesn't just break you, it breaks the story you built around someone. He expected tears, regret. Instead, she whispered, "I didn't mean for it to happen." Then added, "I just wasn't happy." Those words cut deeper than the affair, because they weren't excuses. They were erasure. She was rewriting the entire marriage into a story that justified her choices. And that's the twist most people miss. Cheating isn't always about desire. It's about identity. When she crossed that line, she didn't just betray him. She betrayed the version of herself she was with him. The affair didn't begin in the bedroom. It began the moment she stopped recognizing who she was in that relationship. She didn't want another man. She wanted another version of herself. The betrayal wasn't the beginning, it was the symptom. So when he finally confronted her, she didn't break down. She rationalized. "You changed," she said. We just grew apart. Her voice was steady, but her eyes gave her away. She wasn't defending the affair. She was defending the identity she built around it. Once someone starts believing the story that they were unhappy, every truth that challenges it feels like an attack. And here's the cruelest part. Sometimes the cheater isn't running from their partner. They're running from the part of themselves that feels powerless, unseen, unloved. The affair becomes a mirror. It reflects who they wish they were. Alive, desired, important. And when that reflection fades, they don't miss the lover. They miss the version of themselves they can't get back. So when she says, "I didn't mean for it to happen," she's not lying. She's describing the accident of emotion that turned into a choice. It wasn't about lust, it was about escape. But every escape ends where it began, right back inside the self she was running from. That man learned something powerful. The real betrayal wasn't another person. It was the moment she stopped showing up honestly and started performing love instead of living it. Because infidelity isn't just about leaving someone's body. It's about leaving the truth. The third sign appears when her guilt starts to crack through the mask. She says, "You deserve better." At first, it sounds kind, even humble. But underneath, it's emotional cowardice disguised as compassion. When she says it, she's not lifting you up, she's lowering her accountability. It's easier to call herself the problem than to face what she's done. "You deserve better" sounds noble, but it's really an exit strategy. Her tone softens. Her eyes drift. She's already preparing to leave without saying why. It's guilt turning itself into morality. Psychological alchemy, trying to turn betrayal into sacrifice. But the truth stays the same. She's already chosen something else over the relationship. Once those words are spoken, you'll feel her distance grow. The performance drops. Her relief gives her away. Because "you deserve better" isn't about you deserving more. It's about her not being able to handle what she's done. The fourth sign. She says, "Can't we just move on?" It sounds peaceful, like she's trying to save what's left. But underneath it's exhaustion, not from the relationship, but from the guilt. She doesn't want healing. She wants silence. When someone cheats, they carry two kinds of pain. The pain of what they did, and the pain of being reminded of it. So instead of accountability, they crave amnesia. "Can't we just move on?" really means, "Can't you stop making me look at the version of myself I don't like?" She's not asking for forgiveness. She's asking for erasure. Because facing what she did would mean facing who she became to do it. If you agree and move on too quickly, the truth never heals. It festers. And months later, that same unspoken wound turns into resentment, emotional numbness, or another betrayal. Because no one ever faced it head-on. Real healing begins with truth, not silence. And truth doesn't live where guilt is still being protected. So if she says, "Can't we just move on?" understand that what she's really asking for is permission to keep her peace at the expense of your pain. And that's not reconciliation. That's avoidance wrapped in affection. The fifth sign. She says, "I never meant to hurt you." It's the most common phrase after betrayal, and the most misunderstood. Because intent doesn't erase impact. When a woman says, "I never meant to hurt you," she's trying to soften the reality of what she chose. It's her way of saying, "I want you to feel sorry for how I feel, not for what I did." It's not evil. It's emotional self-defense. It helps her feel like a good person, even in the aftermath of a bad choice. But here's the hard truth. Most pain isn't caused by malice. It's caused by avoidance. By people who don't want to face what their actions did to someone who loved them deeply. And that's what makes "I never meant to hurt you" so dangerous. It sounds like remorse, but it's really regret without responsibility. True remorse says, "I hurt you, and I understand how." False remorse says, "I hurt you, but please don't make me feel bad about it." One heals. The other hides. If you listen closely, you'll hear the difference. Her tone will tell you whether she's sorry for the pain or sorry for being caught in it. Because real accountability doesn't need to be defended. It stands on truth, not tears. So if you ever hear these words, "You're overthinking," "I just need space," "You deserve better," "Can't we just move on?" "I never meant to hurt you," don't react. Observe. Because words don't lie, patterns do. The truth always leaks through tone, timing, and silence. And when your gut whispers something's off, it's not paranoia. It's pattern recognition. The most dangerous kind of betrayal isn't what she does. It's how she makes you doubt yourself for noticing. So don't chase closure. Stand in clarity. Because once you recognize emotional manipulation for what it is, you take back your peace, your dignity, and your power. If this spoke to you, it's because you've felt that quiet shift, the one that words can't hide. Don't ignore it. Learn from it. Because every man who understands emotional psychology becomes impossible to manipulate. Subscribe if you're ready to see relationships through truth, not fantasy. And remember, real peace isn't in who you keep. It's in what you stop tolerating.